Everyone's looking for side hustles these days, but where do you start? It can be daunting trying to find a niche, learn a new skill, and work out how to sell. But I might just have the answer you're looking for. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to turn adding captions to YouTube Shorts into a great side hustle, including the editing part. You don't want to miss this. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I know what you're thinking. Can you really make money just by adding some captions to other people's YouTube videos? The answer is yes. There are loads of people who've turned that simple service into a great side hustle. In fact, if you take a look at Fiverr, some people are earning up to $40,000 every month just with this job. Sure, those are top sellers, but there's clearly a lot of potential to make good money by simply adding captions to videos from YouTubers. And it is easy. I'm going to show you how to do it, so you're pretty much automating the entire process for yourself. It's just a little extra work in the beginning to turn the whole process into something super simple every time you get hired. It will help if you have a little knowledge about how to use editing software already. But even if you haven't touched it before, I'll walk you through it so you'll know exactly how to do it. In this case, we'll be using the professional editing software Adobe Premiere Pro. There are free alternatives out there if you need that option, but it's always a good idea to start with what you'll be using when you're earning loads of cash. And remember, this video is just about adding captions to videos that have already been edited. Clients often supply completed videos for captioning, while others want them edited too. It's up to you to decide if you want to add editing as part of your service, and if you don't, make it clear when setting up your job post. You'll also have to carefully consider your pricing if you decide to take on longer videos than the ones we're speaking about now, but that's all up to you to consider at a later date. For now, our example will only cover adding captions to short videos which are already edited and have been provided to you by a client. So let's get into exactly how to do that. Step 1. Create your project. The first step is pretty basic. You're going to need to open up Premiere Pro and create a project. You'll need to do this for each video. Open the program and in the top left-hand corner, click on the button that says New Project. From there, it'll give you the option to name the project. You can also select a different location for the file to be stored if you need. Then, down in the bottom right, select Create. Step 2. Get started. To make it easier for me to explain the next steps to you, I suggest you select the right workspace layout at this stage. In the top right, you'll see a small icon that looks like a rectangle with a smaller rectangle inside it. This is your workspace layout. Click it and select Essentials from the drop-down menu. The next important thing is to create the correct format for your video. Most YouTube Shorts are vertical, so head to the section of your workspace marked Projects. In the bottom right of that section, you should see a tab called New Item, which is placed second from the right. Click on it, then click on Sequence and navigate to the Settings section of the menu. There, under the video part, make sure that the video frame size is set to 2160 by 3840. If you click OK, the window will close and a new black area will appear in your workspace. Now, you can click and drag your video into the Premiere timeline. It will probably show up as being a little small. To fix that, click on the video and move to the Effects control panel on the right. Then select Scale and simply click and drag the video to the correct size. Step 2. Transcribe the video. I know what you're thinking. Where are you going to find the time to transcribe videos? Well, you'll be glad to hear that you don't have to. Premiere Pro will do the hard work for you. Take a look at the top right side of your workspace, and you should see a tab labeled Text. This is where the magic happens. Click on it and then click on the Transcript tab that comes up if it's not already highlighted. Now, click the big button called Transcribe Sequence, and a pop-up will appear. Click Transcribe, and your transcription will appear automatically. You'll need to run through the video to make sure the whole transcription is correct. Once you've made any necessary changes, we can move on to a style element. If you take a look at a lot of very successful YouTube Shorts, you'll probably notice they don't include punctuation. It kind of throws off the vibe and flow of captions. So we're going to take them out of the transcript. But don't worry, this is another thing that Premiere Pro can automatically do for you. In the top of the transcript section of your workspace, click the search bar and type in a comma or a period. You'll need to do them separately. You'll see it highlight whatever you typed in. Now click Replace and just leave the Replace With box blank before hitting Replace All. It'll automatically remove the punctuation you selected. And now that our transcript is perfect, we're ready for the next step. Step 3. Create your captions. Stay in the section of your workspace where your transcription is. At the top of that box, you'll see a CC button. Click on it and open the Preferences drop-down menu in the pop-up. Drag all the sliders as far left as they can go and select Single under the Lines option. You'll see it creates a load of short caption tracks, and you'll see what those captions look like right at the bottom of the video too. Now, highlight all the captions down in the timeline. Then, find the Graphics and Titles menu right at the top of your workspace. In the drop-down, select Upgrade Captions to Graphics. Now, you'll see the Captions drop-down in the timeline, and this means you've just opened up a new creative world. Step 4. Create your caption style. In your timeline, move the playhead all the way to the very start of your captions track. Make sure that track is selected. Then, in the top right section of your workspace, select Essential Graphics. Then, click on the T for text under the Edit section. You'll see loads of options you can choose from, but I'll talk you through the most essential things to look at. First, choose your font. Try for something bold. You can also scale up your text with the slider and decide when it looks good. Now, choose a color. There are loads of other options too, from shadows to outlines to even selecting all caps or lowercase text. You can play around with these options as much as you want until you find something that looks great, or you match what your client was asking for. Step 5. Save a style preset. I have another bit of good news for you. You don't need to memorize what you just did. Premiere lets you save any style you create as a preset, so you can use it again and again. To do this, make sure you're happy with what you've done, and then move up to the Style section of the window. Click the drop-down menu, then click Create. You'll get the option to name your text style. Make sure you give it a name that will help you remember what the style was, or even label them with the names of your clients so you know which preset they prefer. You can do this as many times as you need to. Now, you can select all your captions in your timeline, and click and drag your preset onto them. Premiere will apply the effect automatically, and you can do that for every future project that needs the same style of captions. But you might not be done just yet. Step 6. Add motion. This step really makes your captions pop and stand out from the crowd. Again, in the timeline, you'll need to put your playhead at the beginning of your first caption. In the top left of your workspace, you'll see a tab that says Effects. Click on it and in the search bar, type Transform. You'll find the transform effect in the video effects folder under Distort. Click and drag it onto your captions in your timeline. In the top right window of your workspace, click on the Effects Controls tab, and this will open a whole set of options to edit your transform effect, just like when we were creating our text style. Before you do anything to the movement, you'll want to anchor the text so it doesn't move off center. Click on Anchor Point, and then you can anchor your text by clicking and dragging it on the video to where you want it. Now, to make it really pop, head to the Scale option. Move the numbers down a little, let's say to 95. Then, click the little stopwatch to keep that fixed. Then, hit the forward key on your keyboard 3 or 4 times. Then, adjust the numbers back to 100 and hit the stopwatch again. If you play it now, you'll see there's a little pop. You can adjust this however you want, and you can save it as a preset again, just by right-clicking on the transform effect and selecting Save Preset. Make sure to remove it from your effect controls before adding the new preset to your other captions, or it might accidentally add onto the captions twice. Of course, you can experiment for hours with all the different effects you can put on your captions. And remember to create some examples to help you sell your service. Offering your customers a few options that they can choose from will make you stand out from the crowd. Now, just export your video and you're ready to go. What do you think about using editing presets to speed up your money-making potential? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more ways you could be using your time to earn real cash.